Hey, fourth graders, let's get back to division. We have one kind of new skill that we're going to do today, but it's really nothing new to you. We're going to combine a couple of things. We are in Unit 3 still of division, and now we're on to Lesson 8. And you know what we need. We need our workbook, and we need some scratch paper, whatever you use for that. So gather those materials, get everything you need, and let's get started. So the first thing we got to be able to do today is we have to remember how to round. And we're going to round to the largest place value. So in this case, we're going to round to our tens. And then we're going to round to our hundreds. And then we'll round all the way out to our thousands. And we remember, we always look at the place value next door to the right. 5 or more, let it soar. 4 or less, we let it 4 or less, we let it rest. Excuse me. So 58, we would round to, it's only 2 away from 60, and it's 8 away from 50. So we're going to round that to 60. 91, that 1 tells us to round down to 90, or really it just stays the same in that tens place. And then 397, well, that 9 tells us we're going to round this 3 up to 4, and we'll zero everything out after that. And then 1,377, that 1 is either going to stay a 1 or go up to a 2. Well, the 3 tells us it stays as a 1, and everything else can be a 0. If you can do that today, and you can continue practicing your division skill, today is going to be an easy day for you. Okay, so we're on page 161 in your workbook. And on page 161, we are going to practice dividing and estimating. Okay? And so we're going to divide first, and then you're going to take your quotient, your answer, remember, and you're going to round it, and then you're going to use the inverse operation. So let me show you what we mean. So let's look at 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. They've already solved it for us. Huh? How great is that? But our job is to check and use rounding and estimating to decide whether each quotient makes sense. Okay? So we need to round and figure out, does 18 with a remainder of 2 make sense at all for the problem 56 divided by 3? Well, let's look at how we're going to do that. Okay, so 18, well, it's either going to round up to 20 or down to 10, and I know that's going to round up to 20. So what I do now is I'm going to take 20, and then I'm going to multiply it right here by 3. And then what I should get is something pretty close to 56, my biggest number in the middle. If I do get something pretty close, I know there's a good chance I got it right. So 2 times 3 is 6. I got a 0 here. 60, pretty close to 56, right? And so I know that there's a good chance I got that problem right. Well, let's look at this one. 92 with a remainder of 3. First of all, think about what we're going to round 92 to. And we just ignore the remainder when we're checking our work here. But I'm going to call it 90. 2 is only 2 away from 90, so I can work with this number easily. And remember, I'm going to multiply 90 times my dividend. So 9 times 5, or my divisor, I'm sorry. 9 times 5 is 45. All right. And then I have 1 0, so 450. Yeah, that's pretty close to 463. I have a pretty good chance that I got that one right. Now, my next one, 928. So I have a 9 in my hundreds place. Let's round it to the hundreds place. It's either going to round down to 900 or all the way up to 1,000. Well, that 2 in the tens place is a small number, so 4 or less, we let it rest at 900. And 9 times 6 is 54. Use that chart if you need it. And I had 2 zeros, or the yellow sheet. I know many of you like that. 2 zeros in 900, so 5,400. Well, that's pretty close to 5,568. It's off by a little over 100. But think about this. We're still 28 sixes away from what our actual answer is going to be because we only found 900 sixes. So yeah, that actually makes sense. Okay, we're going to see that next thing with number 4. Oh, sorry, I didn't give you a chance to figure out how to round it yourself. Our answer was 129 with a remainder of 4. So 129. Not much different than 928, right? Except what I have in my hundreds place. You're either going to round down to 100 or up to 200. I rounded down to 100 because the 2 in the tens place again. So we know in order to check this today, that's our only new step. 1 times 7 is 7. 2 zeros in 100, so 2 zeros in my answer. 700, wow, that's 200 away. But once again, think about that. I'm 29 sevens away. So if I were to add, and I should be 29 sevens under, right? Because I rounded down. If you round down and your number goes over your middle number here, then you for sure got it wrong. But I'm under by 200 or so, but that's about 29 sevens. So my answer is is really close. So I think I got that one right. Okay, so now your job on the rest of this page, oops, go back to it. Your job on the rest of this page now is going to be, you're going to do several of these problems. So 59 divided by 7. First, you solve it. And then take your quotient, your answer, round it, multiply by 7, and see if you're close to 59. If you are, that's great. You probably got it right. Move on and do both steps for number 6, 7, and so on. This will come in really handy with the last lesson with zeros in our quotient. Sometimes we forget those zeros. If you do, your rounding will be way off, or your rounding won't, but your answer to the multiplication check will be way off. And that'll tell me, hey, I screwed something up. You go back and look, and it was probably your 0. Okay? And then the one other thing that you will look at on the next page is we need to try and figure out when is it okay to estimate and when is it requirement? When do we have to find the exact answer? And so this will be a conversation that you have with your class, and you'll look at some of the examples and you'll read some of these word problems and you'll try and figure out, is this a time when we might be okay with finding an estimate or about how much? And there's some keywords you'll talk about, or is it an exact? Okay? And then your teacher will also give you some next step. Good luck. Not a whole lot new today. Keep working hard, guys.